Hey guys, Arthur here. We've got a dev insight from the Destiny 2 team, returning of the director. This will be the first dev insight article before Moments of Triumph on June 9th. There's a lot to go over with. It is a long article. It'll feature the director, distortions on patrol modes, the portal, gambit, heavy metal, and SRL. The director gonna look like this. It's the best it's ever looked. Anyone disagreeing is insane, honestly. Kepler and the Lawless Frontier, so Mars, just its whole area right there is nice. Kepler, looking pretty cute there. Destinations have always been a fundamental part of Destiny, whether you touch down briefly for a public event, roam areas for patrols and secrets, or find various factions moving against each other. We revitalized each pre-Edge Fate destination's loot with new perks, tiered weapons, and non-craftable. But ultimately, not a lot of those weapons are used, so for our destinations featuring crafted weapons, they will be receiving additional perks per column to make them feel up to modern sandbox power standards. What destinations have crafted weapons? I can't think of any. You'll primarily be able to earn this loot through public events. Base completion will grant tier 3s, heroics, tier 4s, with each drop having to have a chance to upgrade all the way to tier 5. During a distortion, these rewards will be upgraded by one tier to match the added challenge. Unique destination activities like Blind Well, Altars, and Terminal Overload will also distribute tiered rewards. We've updated the world loot pool as well to feature a collection of tiered loot with spanning across multiple years of Destiny. You may find a few favorites inspired by Splicer Tech or our old friend Sate 14 with this engram. With that said, let's take a look at loot from a few destinations below as a taste of what to come. Want to excite but not spoil your appetite. Cosmodrome will get Eyes Up. This weapon gains an increase in reload speed, range, and damage against combatants when combat begins. Final blows extend and enhance this bonus. The Seraphic Arsenal will be getting the... Oh, wait, why does it say Overload? Wait. That's interesting. So weapons are just going to have built-in anti-champion. Okay. Okay, I like that. It'll have Slide Shot, Discord, Quick Draw, Threat Detector, Disruption Break, Heal Clip, Dual Loader, Snapshot Sights, Closing Time, Trench Barrel, 1-2 Punch, Chain Reaction, Incandescent, and Surrounded. The 7th Seraph CQ-C12 felt like the right showcase for Cosmodrome because it's both a core Rasputin weapon and a flexible close-range workhorse. With its updated perk pool, we wanted it to support everything from classic melee heavy builds to pure ad clear shotgunning without losing that Warmind toolbox identity. So it's going to have both its old origin trait and its new one of Eyes Up. Nessus will be having the... Oh, geez, this is an old gun. Holy shit. We'll be having, it looks like, the old, oh, what season is that? It was the first official season that took place on the moon. Its origin trait is Fail Deadly. Dealing damage grants a stacking bonus to magazine size, target acquisition, and range until your next final blow. Okay. So you want to use these weapons on bosses or champions, mini bosses, anything with a large health pool, so that you get your max mag size. Pluperfect will be getting Outlaw, Rangefinder, Dynamic Sway, Rewind, Stopping Power, Enlightened Action, Demolitionist in the left column, with Rampage, All-Star, Kinetic Tremors, Adhesive Ordnance, Closing Time, Aggregate Charge, and Adrenaline Junkie on the right. And these weapons look like they'll only have the one origin trait instead of two. Europa will be getting a new trait called Winterized Gear. After being out of combat for a moderate duration, this weapon gains stability, reload, and handling, and these benefits decay after entering combat. So it looks like a PvP sort of trait. Oh, and they're turning this into a micro missile frame. Kinetic micro missile sidearm. Cool. It's also unstoppable. Pluperfect is also unstoppable. It will be getting autoloading, bewildering burst, impulse amplifier, enlightened action, shoot to loot, stopping power, blast distributor. On the left, with kinetic tremors, ancillary ordnance, one for all star, frenzy, desperate measures, and surrounded on the right. It is very nice to see that these old weapons are coming back. So, with the Europa ones coming back, my favorite Europa gun is hopefully also included in this, which is the Coriolis Force. Distorted destinations. Patrolling the system. They're essentially giving Patrol a new semi-end game or high loot value reward with distortions. Every hour. Oh, that's nice. So it's not a daily rotation. The sky will tear open, distort reality, and spread corruption. While distorted, the planet's enemies are empowered and more fearsome. These are pretty cool. Distortions are new enhancement to patrol modes. There's the celebration of all things that are already there, plus a small injection of new things to do and rediscover. Our main goal with this feature was to support what we call the public loop, the connected areas that players patrol, where they can encounter other guardians and work together on shared goals. We've leaned into all the fun things that are already there and then added a little twist. I'm liking how these look. They got like crystals coming out of them. They're like red and sort of crusty. Hive are less crusty because they already are kind of crusty. Every enemy will become distorted too, making them more aggressive, tougher, and more dangerous. Distortions won't massively change the low stress nature of patrols, but you may occasionally find an encounter that tests the skills of even veteran guardians. Speaking of rewards, we're making distortions uniquely rewarding by providing a new weapon set players can earn. Okay. I would love to see what weapons we were getting. They're overhauling the portal. I really want to skip over this, man. The portal's so boring. Dungeon Ops is being retired, and this space will be simply a space to quickly find and play full raid and dungeon content. So does that mean you can just go into a full dungeon via the portal. I mean, people have wanted that for a while instead of having to just do one encounter, which is nice. A whole bunch of new Fireteam ops. Battlegrounds Mars, Disgrace, Lightblade, Scarlet Keep, Corrupted, Lake of Shadows. They're adding Seraph Shield and 0 Hour to Pinnacle Ops, and Override. I don't exactly remember what that is. Portal Ops are going to get rehauled again. Less math, more playing Destiny. That's good. That's how it should be. If you're playing on Ultimate, you're going to get tier 5s. Grandmaster, tier 5s. Good. So you can just play an Ultimate and get rewarded. In PvP, grade A will yield T5. So ignoring tier 3s, you just go tier 5 for like winning, which is nice. Additionally, while reward tier will now cap at Grandmaster with tier 5 and S rank, it didn't feel right to remove Ultimate tier from the game, so we're leaving Ultimate in for Guardians Hero Joy playing at the highest level possible, and Ultimate just exists for bragging rights. Cool. In match-made versions of Portal activities, they'll feature less modifiers than what we had prior, and rewards be granted based on your difficulty that is selected. As we're making updates to how loot is earned through the portal, we also took this opportunity to expand the loot variety. The following portal ops will feature exclusive weapon reward pools and an armor collection with a unique set bonus. Crucible ops, General and Comp, Trials, Iron Banner, Gambit, and SRL. Solo and Fireteam ops will each have a unique weapon reward pool as well, and share a new armor collection with a set bonus. Arena ops and Pinnacle ops also will have a unique weapon pool and armor collection, with an additional pool for Onslaught. Additionally, arena weapons will have holofoils. So if you want holofoil, you're going to have to do arena, which is the 6-person activity, which is nice. This is a lot. Increase scrap earned by 40%, and you can max defenses at each location with having this. Revive tokens are gone. Good. Reintroduced the difficulty curve so it's easier and then ramps up over time. For example, Grandmaster Onslaught's first 10 waves will feel like Expert, then feel Master, then feel Grandmaster. Cool. We've reintroduced the full Brave Arsenal from Into the Light with tiers into the Onslaught pool. That's good. People like those weapons. Contest of Elders is going to have 3 paths instead of 4. Curve again. The World Pool rewards into the Contest of Elders. Coil also going to have the curve. Okay. Gambit. This is important, for me at least. I've always loved Gambit. For some time now, players have felt that our core activity rotation has been lacking a very special PvE VP mode that was introduced in Forsaken. In Moment of Triumph, Gambit gets a clearer home in the director through Gambit Ops. Our focus is on better placement, stronger reward support, and more legible reward structure while keeping the core activity familiar for players who already know how Gambit works. You'll get a team that reaches the Primeval phase will earn S and tier 5s. So you're heavily incentivized to rush to boss immediately, which Gambit already is. Let's be honest, few things in Destiny feel better than banking a pile of motes or saving the game with a last-minute invasion. To keep the playlist healthy, Gambit needs strength in its rewards. and that meant looking at the playlist's identity from multiple angles. A reworked origin trait, the return of many iconic Gambit weapons, refreshing those perk pools. Our resident Gambit lovers on the Sandbox team took a deep pass on the weapons you've been asking for and made sure to give them some fun rolls. Here are 2 quick examples. They've reworked Gun and Run. Defeating targets builds stacks of it, and sprinting for a short time consumes a stack to reload your weapon partially from reserves. On bows, this will increase their draw speed instead. Spare Rations is going to be an overload gun. It's a 140 with slide shot, rapid hit, snapshot. I said snapshot twice. It's slide shot, rapid hit, snapshot, moving target, firefly, keep away, crystalline corpse bloom. Oh, it's a stasis gun. Interesting. Kill clip, opening shot, eye of the storm, swashbuckler, desperate measures, one for all, and explosive payload. And 21% delirium, which is also going to be an overload gun. It's going to have 2 new perks. Interesting. And we see one of them right there. Reconstruction, Overflow, Redacted, Trickle Charge, 4th times, Feeding Frenzy, Eddy Current, Killing Tally, One for All, Redacted, Rolling Storm, Redacted, Frenzy, and Jolting Feedback. So it's going to get 3 new perks. So we know at least that we're getting 3 new perks with this update on June 9th. I'm hoping it's a lot more. We already read about Crucible playlist rotation. Trials will be here, and then if Iron Banner's here, there's no trials. That's how it always has been. Heavy Metal, 1 new vehicle, and it's the Cabal Walker. Oh, you can choose what vehicle you want to bring, so it's not a team of Drake versus a team of Brig. Okay, that brings a lot of unique variety to it, so you can have a team matchup. Heavy Metal is also getting a brand new map, Nightfall Station. It's now been reworked into a Heavy Metal Battlefield map. Cool. That's sick. SRL. We brought the mode forward with a set of updates aimed at making the races feel faster, livelier, and a bit more chaotic. Ghost returns as your announcer as well as Shax. Nothing more motivating than Shax screaming at you to push for first place. Skimmers are joining the fun, allowing you to choose between a Sparrow or a Skimmer before hopping into a 3-lap race against 5 other players. Players won't have access to rail grinds or manual jumping as a Skimmer. Okay, so you can use a Skimmer, but it's not going to have the functionality of a Skimmer, because that would have a huge advantage over a Sparrow. Under the hood, we've also updated SRL to support those photo finish moments at the end of a race. Close finishes can now properly assess ties, which means when 2 racers hit the line at nearly the same time, the results screen can better reflect that outcome. We know the mantra, if you're not first, you're last, but what the goal of SRL is to bring back the chaos and friendly competition to the forefront, so tying means you both get equal rewards. New mechanics have been added. Rocket Boost rewards racers who nail their timing of hitting the gas just before the race begins. So similar to the little acceleration boost in Mario Kart. Trick boosts are what they sound. Land a trick successfully and you'll get a boost. On PC, Skimmer and Sparrow tricks can also be remapped the same way emotes can be, and the UI has been updated. Okay. All 4 of the original SRL maps are returning, and a new map called Quantum Circuit, which is located in the realm of the 9. Avoid the Taken and enemies of the past while racing on this wild, intense ribbon road. Additionally, speed boost pads have been added to specific shortcut paths on all maps to offset any gates missed, a change that we think will make taking riskier or tougher shortcuts more rewarding and viable. We've done tuning on gate sizes, vehicle speeds, and rubber banding to help keep the races healthy. We are excited for players to get their hands on all these updates and hear the brand new SRL music. Cool. Rewards. You'll get new weapons and armor. If you've got to go fast, then these will feel right at home in your arsenal. These perks on the weapons have speed and movement in mind, such as Eager Edge, Desperado, and Perpetual Motion. We want to keep the weapons and the perk pools under wraps. We will share the origin trait and armor set bonuses. Final blows with weapons that have the featherweight origin trait grant increased movement speed while equipped. And the armor piece 2, fast movement builds up a charge that gradually increases your health, regeneration speed. Once you're fully revved, sprinting grants speed booster. Sliding while speed booster is active jolts combatants in front of you. Ooh, that's actually really fun. And players looking for a little more style with their speed, SRL will also bring plenty of earnable rewards worth chasing. This includes a new Sparrow and Skimmer, as well as SRL armor ornaments, returning racing sparrows and the shaders from D1, plus returning horns from D1 that also work with skimmers, new emblem or returning emblems, and more. Ooh, okay. Wait, that's our first Cassioid weapon. Oh, that's cool. The sword isn't a faction, it's just SRL. Okay. Tex Mechanica looks like a pulse rifle. Or maybe a fusion. I can't tell. But we're getting Hake. Maybe that's a Suros on the right here. And maybe these are both fusions? I don't know. But tomorrow, there's going to be a weapon sandbox, raid and dungeon update, tower vendor attunement, and more on the dev insights in the future. If you guys are hyped for this, let me know in the comments below. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, do all that. Thank you guys.